Welcome to Small Business Celebration. We're continuing our series on small business owners who are getting the move on. And our guest this week, well, he's going to help you grow your business to keep it from disappearing. This is Small Business Celebration. Welcome, where we chat with real business owners who have real success and learn from them about what works, what doesn't, and who want you to know that there's a light at the end of the tunnel and it's not a train. Join us where you can learn something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business. Welcome to Small Business Celebration, and our guest this week is Ron Saylor, the owner of Saylor Magic. Welcome to Small Business Celebration.
Good to be back. Thank you so much.
And for visionaries who don't remember you from the last time you were on back in, season 1?
It's been a few days.
Yeah. Who are you, and what is it that you do?
Well, Ron Saylor, I'm a magician, 20-year magician. I perform an average of 200 shows a year all over the country and up into Canada.
That makes you international.
It does. I am an international performer. And I have two umbrellas because I not only perform a couple hundred shows a year, everything from private events to corporate parties to television and radio and so on, but I also produce the Celebrities of Magic series on the side. On my day off, I produce 12 shows a year, one show a month. And we just did our 130th show.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you.
And how many of these shows have you sold out?
Most. Yeah,
Okay.
They all. Yeah, it's a great problem. So the shows very frequently sell out, and people. I hate turning people away, but it happens.
Right.
And so people
Sure.
show up right at the door, and so it's always get your tickets even a day in advance.
Right.
Get you in, but yeah, it's hard to walk up.
And you get magicians from all over the world.
I do. I've had magicians from Australia, frequently from Vegas, New York, Chicago, all over the West Coast. Yeah.
You've always wanted to be a magician.
I started doing magic when I was 10. So I saw my first live show when I was 9.
Right.
I saw Chuck Jones perform in a mall.
Okay.
Long before the Tiffany Mall tours.
And he was a staple. He was the who's who of the magic world.
Yeah, absolutely. So I'm giving away my age here very quickly, but Blackstone Jr. was the touring Copperfield at the time.
Right.
Doug Henning was still doing his New York. He was on Broadway.
Right.
And Blackstone Jr. was doing this big touring show, and I was a big Blackstone fan. And Chuck Jones came to West Covina, where I grew up, and so my mom took me to Chuck Jones instead of Blackstone. That was a good, fair trade.
Sure, right.
So anyway, I saw Chuck perform and I was hooked. I knew that magic would be a part of my life for the rest of my life. I just had no idea to what extent.
Sure.
Here I am doing what I love. Chuck Jones, I've told him now, because we're friends now, you
ruined my life!
No, not at all. No, but I did tell him it's because of him that I do illusions. That's, one of the umbrellas of magic that I perform.
Right.
And to which he apologized. So that was what he said. He's like, I'm very sorry. No, it's no sorry. But yeah, so I have several mentors and several, amazing, you know all the names, Copperfield and so on, that have, well, David has been in my audience.
Right.
Which is fascinating to say out loud. I know it's true because I was the performer, but even saying that, it's kind of, hard to believe. So.
And then you grew up and you got it, and I'm using air quotes.
Sure.
A real job.
Well, first you have to put air quotes in, I grew up.
Well, that's debatable, because, I've known you long enough to know that's, growing up.
Yeah. So we're sitting around my home. This is what I look like on my day off.
Sure.
This is how I live.
Right.
You
don't walk around in sparkles all the time in a low-flying fog on the floor wherever you...
My 10,000 crystal jacket is on a hanger. So
and Visionaries, if you want to see this jacket, you've got to see it. He wears it to Celebrities of Magic, and you've got to see it. It's great stuff. But you got hooked
Yes.
on doing this, and then you, quote unquote, air quotes again, grew up.
Well, I was, I was a general manager, regional director, human resources manager.
I can imagine you as an HR manager.
Yeah, it was not pretty. I was the evil guy. I hated it.
Right.
I have the heart of a performer and not the heart of an HR guy. So I absolutely hated my career choice. Did magic, just for fun.
Right.
People called me the magician, and it was all good. Coped with my career choice by doing magic.
Right.
Put myself through the Academy of Magical Arts. One fateful November, after I decided I ruined the last family's life I was going to ruin right before Christmas, in fact.
You were the one that said, congratulations, you've been laid off, Merry Christmas.
I worked for a vice president that would hand me a list, say, fly to Nevada, fire these 12 people, and let me know how it went. Yeah, I was that guy, and it was just awful. And there's, George Clooney played me in the movie.
Wow.
Not really.
Not really.
But it's the same. It's the same
idea.
story.
Sure, right? Yeah.
Anyway, so I came home and got off the plane and said, "Honey, I'm going to be a magician." And she said, "Would you like a Corvette with your midlife crisis?" So, yeah, true story. Valerie is the most supportive, wonderful woman on the planet. There's no question about this. We've been happily married for 28 years. I'm just so happy to say.
8 years longer than your magician career.
Yes.
I can do math.
So, which is fascinating because so she, we joined forces, became husband and wife, and then 8 years later, I'm telling her I'm going to quit my high-paying career and become a magician. So some of her friends told her to divorce me immediately.
Right.
Yes, your husband is awful, and I can't believe he put you into this place. So I've written all those friends down by name.
You have this black book?
Yeah. Fortunately, I don't know which friends those are. Never asked, and I don't want. Yeah. And obviously, so it's a huge risk. I know I put everything at risk. Right. But my deal was, give me 12 months. I won't quit my day job. I'll put, X dollars into my magic. If it doesn't pan out in a year, I'll never bring it up again. And 12 months later, I retired everything but magic. And that's the way it should be. So I did put everything at risk, but I had a plan. I have the business background to make it succeed, and I know I'm good. And so, once you have all those things, you have the confidence, the background, the training. Now you just have to let the rest of the world know who you are.
Right.
That's the next game. and once you're able to do that, you go from, one kids show as a magician a month to 200 shows a year in the corporate world and beyond. So, yeah.
One of the things we'll talk about in the next segment is something that's very popular with a lot of businesses right now, which is the subscription model. And if you think that doesn't apply to magic, well, you're wrong. But before we get into that wrong, if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Several ways. Every social media site, Instagram, Facebook, and et cetera. Instagram @Ron Saylor, Facebook Saylor Magic. Phone number 661-809-4826. I'm happy to give that out. My phone number is everywhere on the internet, and so you can call me for tickets, information, and so on. 2 websites, ronsaylor.com, Saylor with a Y, and we'll talk about soon celebritiesofmagic.com for tickets to the show I produce on the side.
And if you enjoy a small business celebration, go ahead and like, subscribe, and notify. And when we come back, subscription models for all businesses, including magic, when we come right back.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc, also known as TWD. If you find that you have aging skin, suffer with facial acne, as well as wrinkles, the different things that I can do for you is Botox, chemical peels, facial fillers, as well as PRP. This can bring back that youthfulness so you can perform better at your business. Please come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc.
Reach out to Hugh Beatty, MD, the Wellness Doc, at 661-395-0315. That's 661-395-0315. Or visit them online at hughbeattymd.com. That's HUGHBEATTYMD.com. I'm here with Ron Saylor, the owner of Saylor Magic, and our visioner question comes from Chris, who asks, every business podcast talks about the virtues of a subscription model, but they seldom talk about the work involved to make it a success. What did you do to make your subscription model work?
Yeah, so with the Celebrities of Magic series, I do have subscribers for sure. Right. I rent the Gaslight Melodrama once a month.
Okay.
So I don't have my own theater. So in town, since I live here in Bakersfield, I rent that theater to produce this ongoing series of magic shows. Different magician every month. So it's, you can come. There's people that have been to my show more than I have, because I've missed my own show. Yes, there are people, so they come to everyone. Anyway, so of the 130 seats in the melodrama,
Right.
I currently have 94 season ticket holders.
Wow.
Yes, it's a huge number, percentage-wise, anyway.
Well, and that guarantees the coverage of your costs.
Yeah, it does. It absolutely does. All my printing is paid for in advance and everything. There's not a lot of advertising in this, because with only 130 seats, there's little or no advertising budget.
Right.
So I think my celebrity show is literally Bakersfield's best kept secret, because I have shows that you'd see in Vegas for $100 a ticket in Bakersfield for $27.
Right.
So, and they're here, and you're supporting a local theater and all those fun things. But yes, so ideally I only have to sell 33 more seats and we're sold out.
Right.
So it's a great, again, I said this before already, that if you're waiting to just walk up 15 minutes before showtime and buy a ticket,
Good luck.
with only 30 seats available, that's tough. So the season tickets, to do this, all my season ticket holders get the best seats, number one, because they're long term.
Right.
So there's a huge benefit for that. They get a better price. Yeah, everybody wins.
Sure,
That's
sure.
That's the way to succeed with this. So my season ticket holders, they buy 5 shows, get 1 free. Each season is 6 shows.
Right.
I never take a break, so I do 2 seasons a year.
Right.
Me and Survivor, 2 seasons a year.
Sure.
Yeah.
Right.
So I'm no dummy.
But the important part of that is that when you have 2 seasons a year and you've got it 6 shows a year, suddenly that subscription budget doesn't look so big.
Yeah. Well, it's 12 shows a year.
Right.
6 shows. Yeah, right. So Celebrities of Magic, besides magicians, I also have jugglers and ventriloquists and comedians, and I mean, there's it's a whole variety show of the arts, and I pay these performers better than any other show in my comparison in the industry.
So it makes you an automatic draw.
It does. Well, the name does too.
Sure, right.
And I knew if I was going to name my series Celebrities of Magic, I was going to have to set the bar really high.
Right.
Yeah, so there was, a goal set. By the way, that's a story in itself. But my Celebrities of Magic series, I originally called it Second Monday Magic, because I was having it on the second Monday of the month.
Right.
Every show is the second Monday of the month, once a month.
Right.
Put a red circle on the second Monday. You never forget the date.
Right.
I'm trying to brand it without even branding it. I have motives behind everything I do.
Sure. Well, you've thought about it.
Yes, right? But there's a show in New York called Monday Night Magic. And I did one show. I was setting up for the second show. I'm 1 month into my series, show number 1.5, and I got a sue threat from Monday Night Magic.
Cease and desist order.
Yes, they didn't like it. And I said to the owner, I've been to his stage. I know the guy. I said to him, you know me.
Right.
I'm not stepping on your toes. You think my little tiny show in Bakersfield is going to hurt your off-Broadway production?
Right.
Not a chance.
Right.
But anyway, you need to get rid of it. Fine. I'll change the name. And so, I did some brainstorming. We had a little room of people shooting off names, and everybody's saying no. And then I said, what about Celebrities of Magic? And the room just went. I got on the computer, trademarked it immediately. I'm no dummy. trademarked it immediately, and the name is, definitely raised the bar in many ways.
Sure.
So I have great performers coming at a great price for the local people, and those season ticket holders, they love it. Like I said, some of the season ticket holders have seen more of the shows than I have.
Right. And that is the secret to a subscription model.
I hope so.
One of the most closely guarded secrets in all of magic, especially when it comes to illusions, are the tools involved.
Sure. The tools for a magician would be the props.
Right.
The real tools that you may or may not be alluding to are the secrets.
Right.
The closely guarded secrets that we pass down for 1,000 years. Yes, they exist, and yes, we do pass them down, and we don't share those for obvious reasons. We want magicians and I teach magic, which is it's the craziest thing, because you say you don't share a secret, but then you teach magic, and then you're revealing the secret.
But there are some forms of magic that are much more commonplace than others.
Sure. Well, sleight of hand, I guess. Unfortunately, sleight of hand is probably the most common because it's the least expensive. But then you have a whole lot of young apprentices that may be performing it before they should be, and so it reveals everything. So that's a shame. But little kids learning magic, there's nothing wrong with a little kid learning magic and giving away every secret they've done under the sun, because they're trying to, they need to be.
Look, Mommy, look what I did.
I did my first show when I was 10.
Right.
It was terrible. I got better.
Right.
Hopefully. But for the prop end of the tools, when you get into illusions, you rely heavily on actual props,
Right.
and assistants, and the assistants are now doing part of the magic, and there's all these things that you don't have to do when you're doing things by yourself, and so the props go bad, or the props themselves can make mistakes, and you're relying, again, you're not relying on yourself as much as in mentalism and sleight of hand and parlor magic, everything is me, and so if anything goes wrong, I'm completely to blame,
Right.
which is a nice place to be. I like that.
You have certain control over what you can control.
There is a control freak story in there somewhere. I admit it. But yeah, in illusions, you're also relying on, the maintenance of the prop is important. So now, maintenance, that's, of course, you have to take care of everything to make sure it opens and closes properly and so on. And training and rehearsals with the assistants. And
Right.
all those fun things.
I have to ask,
Yes.
have you ever been injured
Oh, sure.
during a trick or an illusion?
Yes, a couple of times. Magic is a dangerous field.
It can be.
It is, for sure. But most famously, my most famous injury, the shot heard around the world, is when I nailed my hands together. So that was...
What? Wait, what? You did what?
Yes. So there's an effect.
Okay.
It's called smash and stab, and it is titled says it all. You smash and stab, and it involves a stainless steel spike, 6.5-inch stainless steel spike. Picture a railroad spike.
Okay.
And that's what it is. Except this is for Hollywood, so it's stainless steel.
Shiny and pretty.
Exactly. It is nailed to a wood block,
Okay.
and there are 3 other wood blocks identical. 4 styrofoam cups placed over these blocks, and then you mix them up. When I would perform this, and I did this was my opener for 10 years, so I performed this effect 2,000 times.
Right.
So it wasn't out of lack of practice. I had my fatal day because of exhaustion, frankly, to prove, because there's so many theories under the sun on how this works.
Right.
So to prove or disprove every theory, I would first turn my back and let the volunteer move all the cups around.
Right.
So they know, I don't know which one has the spike. Then I would allow them to switch the cups. So they know the cups are not marked. So they can rotate the blocks so they know there's no markings on the blocks anywhere. I mean, everything they want to do to make sure I do not know where the spike is, done. Okay. If you watched me perform this, I'll tip this much of the effect. If you watched me perform this, you would notice I moved the spike off to the right 100% of the time. If you saw me do it 100 times in a row, you'd be like, wait a minute, I'm getting a feeling that that spike is over there, because I don't want to think about it.
Right.
If you're doing something that dangerous, the last thing you want to do is second guess.
Right.
You want to know 4 steps in advance exactly where the danger is, and then you're free to do whatever. A lot of performers, so many performers have been injured on this prop. I think the prop is all but gone at this point. I don't think nobody performs this anymore. It was banned at the Magic Castle before I ever performed it at the castle.
Oh, wow.
And then I actually, through my technique and my reasoning of the effect, got the Magic Castle to allow it to be performed there, because I could prove to them how safe it was under my method. And again, every magician has their own method.
Right.
So you have to understand that with magic secrets. There's technique, there's secret, and then there's method. And so you put all those pieces together, and now you have the routine and how it's going. So, so now that my method is this and other things I'm not telling you. But to also bring dramatics to it, instead of putting someone else in danger, I would do a full baseball swing. I'd have my hands way above my head, and I would bam, slap them down, and with both hands together.
Oh, no.
And so on this fateful day, so at this time, I was working way too hard. I have since learned this lesson. Work less, get paid more. That's a better mentality.
Formula.
Yeah, better formula, it is. So on that particular December, which is when this was, I had 21 shows booked at the Magic Castle. I had all my Christmas shows, and I was the ringmaster for the Global Winter Wonderland. Altogether, I did 96 shows that December.
Oh,
and it was the most I'd ever done in a month. Never
again.
Never again. And it was right at the end. This is right before Christmas. And yes. And I came down and I skipped a step. So instead, I was pure exhaustion. So I didn't move the spike all the way over to the side. So I knew in my mind it was over here, but it wasn't. It was here. And I went, whoo, and the spike went clear through my right hand and into my left. And then I popped the spike off my hand out of just shock.
Right.
I went into shock immediately. I actually never felt any pain.
Wow.
Which is amazing. And now I am a walking miracle, because I missed every bone, ligament, and tendon in both hands.
Wow.
Yeah, so I am absolutely a walking miracle. I still have my railroad tracks from the from the stitches, and I have a bullet wound in the back and a bullet wound in the front. But yes, I have no loss of anything because I missed everything in both hands.
And we'll be right back. The reason we're here talking with Ron Saylor, the owner of Saylor Magic, is because of a Visioneer question that came from a Visioneer just like you. We had a Visioneer that wanted to find out, how do I make my business a gateway business for bigger businesses? So if you've got a question, you've got a thought, something you'd like to learn about here on Small Business Celebration, reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram, and let us know. And who knows, maybe your question can appear here on Small Business Celebration. So reach out to us on LinkedIn, Facebook, and Instagram today. I'm here with Ron Saylor, the owner of Saylor Magic, and our Visioneer question comes from Sabrina, who asks, my coach and I have taken a look at my business, and there seems to be an opportunity for our business to be a gateway business to lead to other bigger businesses. How did you put something like this together for your business?
That is the business model of Celebrities of Magic.
Okay.
So, so obviously I'm already performing by the time Celebrities of Magic is 11 years old. I've been doing my own magic career for 20, and I've been performing and agenting other acts.
Right.
So I can't clone myself. Still haven't learned how to do that. And frequently, seasonally, Christmas season, Halloween season, all the peaks, May is always a big month for magic, believe it or not. I would get double and triple the calls, and I would say, okay, no problem. I have friends in magic.
Right.
Imagine
that. A magician who knows another magician?
Yes.
No, that's absurd. I refuse.
I always say if I was an actor, my celebrity friends would be amazing, So, I am an actor, but you
only play one on TV, right?
Right, exactly. But yes, so I have great magic counterparts and so on, and so I would call them up and say, "Are you available?" And pretty soon I was booking other magicians, and I didn't ever try to become an agent myself.
Right.
I'm just the performer guy. But anyway, one door opens another. It always does. And so the more that I started keeping a black book of names and phone numbers, I was like, I should put together a show.
Eureka!
Eureka! and that's it. That was the birth. And so then I had it was kind of funny because we had the dream already, and almost simultaneously, I have a theater producer contacting me, asking me if I could do multiple shows, and I said, well, I wouldn't even want to see me multiple times in a row. What if I brought other acts? And it just
that's a good idea.
How did that work out so well?
Sure. But one of the things that really works for Celebrities of Magic is Bakersfield's on the way to LA.
Right. Okay. So yeah, I have a lot of magician friends that I work with at the Magic Castle in Hollywood.
Right.
So
and and I hate to interrupt, but how many times have you performed at the Magic Castle?
Yeah. I'm gonna have some haters now. Thanks for asking that.
Once.
Yes.
He's only been there
only
once.
There's like a 3-year waiting list to perform there, and so I'm never there. Yeah. No, I perform there 3 times a year easily.
Wow.
Maybe more.
Congratulations.
Yeah, thanks. And every time I perform there, I'm booked for 21 shows or more. So it's just kind of crazy.
Congratulations.
It's a wonderful thing. Yeah.
Yeah. But you've got...
I'm back there again at the end of September.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, I've been booked for 29 shows I'm booked for in September.
Wow.
Goodness gracious. Yeah.
But you've developed a reputation with Celebrities of Magic that the Magic Castle has noticed.
They have, yeah. It's. Oh my goodness! Thank you. So now, because I booked so far in advance, because there's now a waiting list to be in Celebrities of Magic,
right?
That performers will. I only produce 12 shows a year.
Right.
I can't produce more than 12 shows a year. I still perform. If I ever stop performing, now we can talk about me expanding the other realm. But anyway, so I'll book. A year in advance or a year and a half in advance. The castle frequently books 6 or 7 months in advance. So these performers will get booked with me, call the Magic Castle and say, Ron Saylor booked me for September. Do you have any openings? And the Magic Castle has complied a couple of times. It's been very nice that they've set up like a little tour between the 2 shows. Yeah.
So that is how Celebrities of Magic is the gateway to the Magic Castle, the bigger show.
Yeah, I don't know about well, okay. Yes, I suppose. I know there have been a couple of acts that have actually got their foot in the door to the Magic Castle because they've name dropped my show.
Right.
That's not typically the place. It's typically the other way around. People call me and say, "Hey, I'm a regular at the castle."
I'm going to be at the castle anyway. Can I come by and do your show?
Sure. And so there is a whole bunch of magic theaters. You don't think about this.
Right.
Most people don't go, where's the nearest magic theater? Unless you're a magic geek like me, right? Okay, then that's fine. But so I myself perform at California Magic Theater, the Prestige, Mystique Dining Theater, House of Cards. That's all on the West Coast, and then further East Coast it expands. I won't bore you. But so there's all these little theaters, and then now Celebrities of Magic is definitely listed in that group of theaters too. If you're going to tour, you got to stop there.
So when a magician is driving through Kern County, they know they're in Ron Saylor's territory.
That is true. They, I got to give a shout out. I don't know if you know Frank Thurston. He's another magician in
yeah.
Bakersfield. He does wonderful kids magic. He does a fair circuit and so on, and has turned me down for my Celebrities of Magic show. I've offered it to him, but he says not the theater for him because he likes to do just the kids shows.
Okay.
I would say Bakersfield is the two of our,
Right.
If you want to say, you own the city, I'm going to say I have to share it with Frank. but yeah, it's just the two of us now. There's been a bunch of magicians that have come and gone through the area, but yeah, this is
One of the things, if you get an opportunity to listen or watch, is Ron is a percussionist.
Yeah, sure.
Not a concussionist, that's different.
Oh, yeah.
But for fun, you like to play drums. In fact, you got quite the kit.
I do. So yes, people in the music, my music circle sometimes go, "You're a magician," and people in my magic circle always say, "You're a musician."
The two worlds do not collide.
It's crazy. They should.
Right.
They're both in the arts,
right?
But sometimes they don't collide. Yes, it's true. I've been playing drums since I was 5, and so I am a good drummer. I almost had a professional music career.
Really?
I had a very brief professional music career. When I was 18, I got to be part of a touring show that played in Europe. I played in 9 countries in Europe, like in an orchestra pit, while the song and dance, whatever, Broadway type touring show was. I was the drummer in the show.
Right.
But that was the extent of my music career. I've been in a number of church bands since, and a garage band, and all those fun things that you do as a musician. But really, and I was actually in my younger days. I was what was that? Anyway, in the Disney All-Star Marching Band or something like that.
Oh yeah, I did that when I was in high school as well.
There you go.
Yes,
See?
great fun.
It was great fun.
You go to Disneyland, you do the parade, you've got the rest of the day off in the park. We had a great time.
It's not exactly a professional career, but it's wonderful to do.
It was fun.
It was fun to do. Yes, there you go. But yes, so I have a humble 25-piece kit sitting in the other room, and
Sure. What have you learned from being a percussionist, a drummer, that you've applied to your career as a magician?
Okay, so everyone needs an out. So as much as a business owner can or cannot turn it off for a day or an hour or 15 minutes,
Right.
whatever that number is, it's hard because we're all constantly thinking of the business.
Right.
When somebody asks me, wow, or they'll say, you got it made. What do you work? 2 hours a day, 3 hours a day?
Right.
No, that's 16 hours a day is common.
Right.
Very common. And so so you need those times away. And for me, it's music. My neighbors all know.
They've heard you.
Yes,
Ron Saylor's off.
Yes, Ron's on his drums. Yes, they're quite loud, but my neighbor, I'm nice to the neighbors. I only perform for myself during business hours. And then music. I have a wonderful little record collection that I just love listening to vinyl, and so music is my out for sure.
How did you find the right support team to help you?
Yeah, there's not a store that you can pick up magic assistants. It's kind of crazy.
Right. Or find a lovely bride who's willing to support you.
Well, again, back to Valerie. Yeah, so obviously she knew me. When we got married, she didn't even know I was a magician, which is the craziest sentence for me to ever say because I thought she did.
Right.
But for whatever reason, I was not performing at the moment. And then, shortly after we were married, I'm like, hey, let me show you a trick. And
She was,
what? You do magic? And I'm like, what do you mean? Yeah, of course I do magic. You didn't know I do magic? So yeah, I don't know. Whatever I was trying to do to impress her in our dating years, I didn't do magic. That's kind of crazy. But anyway, maybe I was playing drums. I don't know.
There you go.
So follow your faith and follow your heart, and all these things combined, and fingers crossed. Oh, and don't give up. Oh my gosh, I've said it all now. So yeah, you're going to fail.
I'm sorry, I had this list of cliches.
Yeah, I know, right? It does. It sounds very cliche, but I mean, I don't think there's any, new and exciting thing that is, it's all boots on the ground. It's get dirty, clean yourself off, and do it again. Learn from your mistakes. Oh my gosh, I am doing every cliche under the sun now.
Tick, tick, tick.
Yeah,
But the problem is, they're cliches for a reason.
yes, it's a 1,000-year-old plan.
Right.
It's not a plan that was written yesterday or invented tomorrow. It's literally it may have been perfected 100 times over,
right,
but it's a plan that works, and you move on, and hopefully one day you get to be a magician.
Ron, this has been a privilege. Thank you for joining us here on Small Business Celebration.
My pleasure indeed.
And if visionaries want to get in touch with you, how do they do that?
Please call me anytime, 661-809-4826.
What was that number again?
661-809-4826. Fantastic. My website, ronsaylor.com. To get tickets for the series, it's celebritiesofmagic.com, and you can always call the Gaslight Melodrama box office for tickets as well. That's 661-587-3377.
Ooh, social media?
Social media, Facebook, you'll find just Ron Saylor. Google me, you'll find me. So Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn. Did I miss anything? I don't know.
TikTok, Twitter?
No.
Nothing good.
A little Twitter, not really. I like Facebook. Oh, I'm always telling where I'm going to be performing. If you want to see an upcoming show, that's on Facebook for sure.
And I'll be right back with my final thought.
Hi, I'm Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc, also known as TWD. If you find that you have aging skin, suffer with facial acne, as well as wrinkles, the different things that I can do for you is Botox, chemical peels, facial fillers, as well as PRP. This can bring back that youthfulness so you can perform better at your business. Please come see me, Dr. Hugh Beatty, the Wellness Doc.
Reach out to Hugh Beatty, MD, the Wellness Doc, at 661-395-0315. That's 661-395-0315. Or visit him online at hughbeattymd.com. That's HUGHBEATTYMD.com. Forgetting the rest. A couple weeks ago, I was talking with a friend of mine, a business coach, a visionary, a fan of Small Business Celebration, and we were talking about all the things that are coming up with Small Business Celebration on Season 5. And yes, we're already talking about Season 5 and all the things that we've got coming up and all the different activities, all the different guests, all the different kinds of things we want to talk about and learn about and grow about. And also talking about the new program that we're going to be rolling out for visionaries just like you to be able to participate and be more involved with Small Business Celebration and all the things that are going on with the day-to-day business of Small Business Celebration. And I was feeling very overwhelmed, especially since now on top of that, oh yeah, family too. Well, that little thing that seems to get in the way of everything, right? And of course I'm joking, but it was becoming overwhelming to me, and I was feeling rather low. And she looked at me and she said, you know, Michael, there is an old saying. It says, do your best and forget the rest. And I got to thinking about it for a minute, and yes, thinking about everything that's going on and worrying about everything that's going on really doesn't help with the stress levels that much. And knowing that if I put my best foot forward, regardless of how things turn out, it'll be fine, one way or the other. And that gives me a lot of confidence. It gives me a lot of comfort in knowing that if I just keep plugging along, I keep working hard, I keep doing the best I can, the rest will work out. Now, also on the flip side of this, keep in mind that no, it doesn't relieve the stress. No, the work does not go away. No, nothing seems to slow down a bit, but it does help me sleep a little better at night. How about you? Where are you in your business life right now? It's brand new school year for many parents out there, and things are ratcheting it up for the holiday season, getting prepared for it, and there's a lot of things going on. So keep in mind this, just like I was told, do your best and forget the rest. I hope you enjoyed our conversation this week with Ron Saylor, the owner of Saylor Magic, and I hope you learned something that you can use today to grow a strong and profitable business, and we'll see you here again next week.
See, I have a similar joke.
Okay.
Yes.
Fire
Mine's the build-up. I don't
Okay.
have a punchline.
Okay.
There's actually 1,000 punchlines, but the build-up is 1,700 magicians and the Pope walk into Quebec. Isn't that a great build-up?
It's a great build-up.
And it's a true story.
And no punchline necessary.
No, and it's nothing needed. You're done.